Britain tried to hold the line. Then, on September 1, 1939, Adolf Hitler crossed into Poland. A new kind of war rolled over Europe, and Britain lacked the aircraft to meet the rising Wehrmacht. They turned to the United States for modern fighters. America, still neutral and operating a peacetime industry, could spare only limited numbers. The British bought P-40 Warhawks, but as the fighting intensified, they needed far more. When Curtiss could not deliver the quantities on the British timeline, attention shifted to James H. Kindleberger, the ambitious president of a young manufacturer, North American Aviation. He promised he could build the P-40 if required, then went further. He claimed he could design something better in just 120 days. Faster, higher, more agile, cheaper. What emerged was hailed as the most aerodynamically clean pursuit plane of its day. Quick, nimble, dependable. Yet the P-51 Mustang hid a single dangerous weakness that nearly doomed it in combat, until fate intervened. Kindleberger made his pitch, and the British, impressed by North American successful trainers, agreed. The team set to work at once. They would keep the Allison 12-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine from the P-40, about 1,250 horsepower, but wrap it in a fresh, forward-looking airframe. By December of 1940, the prototype, tagged NA-73X, was ready, 3 days ahead of the deadline. The new airframe used a laminar flow wing that pushed the thickest section rearward to cut drag. Less friction meant more speed and greater range. The trade-off was real. At high altitude, the wing's performance fell off, and at low speeds, it could feel less nimble. Even so, on its first flight, test pilot Vance Breeze cruised at 322 miles per hour at 15,000 feet. The promise was obvious. It was roughly 25 miles per hour faster than a P-40 and far more responsive. The British loved it and christened it Mustang. The U.S. Army Air Corps held back two for trials and assigned the designation P-51. Their verdict was cautious. They saw the potential, but the Allison, without a high-altitude supercharger, faded above 17,000 feet. Against the Luftwaffe at altitude, they judged it lacking. The aircraft was diverted to other tasks. In April 16, 1942, the United States ordered 500 for dive bombing, renaming them a 36 Apache or a 36 Invader. Pilots ignored the new label. To them, it was still the Mustang. Combat soon exposed the hidden flaw. During dive bombing, the airplane was vulnerable as it pulled out, bled speed, and wandered into ground fire. A single bullet through the radiator could be fatal. Break the dive, lose speed, take a hit, and the cooling system bled out. Frustrated, the Army shifted the Allison Mustang to low-altitude work. Forward air control, close support, even skip bombing. There, it found a niche. In Burma in 1943, the unforgiving terrain and monsoon mud choked roads and airstrips. With strong forward air control and solid firepower, the Mustang could slip into those brutal skies and clear the way for advancing troops. Pilots praised it as steady, responsive, and forgiving, so long as they stayed low. Then came the idea that changed everything. Give the Mustang a better engine. The British urged a Rolls-Royce Merlin, the same heart as the Spitfire. Packard agreed to build a version in America with a powerful supercharger. The Merlin delivered roughly 1,300 horsepower with excellent power to weight and improved fuel economy. North American reworked the airframe. 4 propeller blades replaced 3 for high-altitude bite. The fuselage was strengthened, and the radiator installation was refined to reduce vulnerability. The Allison's 30mm caliber guns gave way to .50 caliber Browning machine guns. The transformation was dramatic. The Mustang became the fighter the war needed. The P-51B entered service in November of 1942. At 30,000 feet, it was about 30 miles per hour quicker than its predecessor and faster than anything it met. Its secret weapon was range. A 425-gallon internal fuel load, paired with a thrifty engine, yielded more than 1,080 miles. With wing tanks, it could stretch to 2,600 miles. For the first time, B-17 bombers had true escorts deep into Europe. Losses fell. The Army Air Corps ordered 2,200 P-51B aircraft, and by 1943, they arrived in force. The Mustang turned the tide. It shielded the bombers, then pounced on targets below, battering Germany's fuel and aircraft production. Factories starved. The Luftwaffe struggled to get machines in the air. Bomber crews called their escorts little friends. Pilots asked for more fixes. They needed a clear rear view, and they wanted the guns to stop jamming after hard maneuvers. North American delivered the P-51 Type D with a teardrop canopy for a full-circle view. A dorsal fin restored stability, and reworked wings housed 3.50 caliber Brownings per side, 6 total, with far fewer stoppages. It became the definitive Mustang. In 1944 alone, more than 8,000 were built. On March 4, 1944, the Type D escorted bombers to Berlin, a run of roughly 1,100 miles. The endgame had begun. By war's end, Mustangs flew over 213,000 missions, downed about 5,000 German aircraft in the air, and destroyed roughly 4,000 on the ground. About 2,500 Mustangs were lost to combat, failures, or accidents. Astonishing numbers for such relentless service. Germany's jets arrived, faster by nearly 100 miles per hour, but too few and too fragile. Mustangs caught them on takeoff and landing and used numbers and agility to win. Quoting Hermann Göring, "The day I saw Mustangs over Berlin, I knew the jig was up." What do you think was the P-51's greatest contribution to victory? Share your take and explore more history with our other Dark Documentaries channels.